want to tell you about spiritual protection. The reason I'm telling you this is because I don't think people talk about this enough. It's very common nowadays to have different, like Reiki and other energy healing sessions, and a lot of talk about meditations and just other spiritual practices. But people never really talk about spiritual protection from God. I've had a very rough couple of years. Mainly it started like 2.5 years ago, where it got really bad. I was on a healing journey. I got Lyme disease in 2016. I guess that's where my healing journey really started, where antibiotics wasn't enough, so I had to start with herbs and, you know, do a diet change like really radically, and other stuffs. I moved back home to my home island, Sweden, and from there I just started my spiritual journey. One thing led to another. In 2020 I got COVID. It got really bad in my left lung, and then things, you know, developed. This disease didn't get better, it just got worse. The more I tried, the worse it got. And I tried different things, and eventually I tried Reiki. And this experience was, I really felt during the session that this like huge energy ball just went inside of me from my head. She was down here by my head, and it went down and all the way down to my stomach, and then a smaller ball went down all the way to my stomach. And I was just like, yeah, something is happening, this is working, great. And then just a few seconds later I just burst into tears, and I heard that this is a part of, like, this is common during Reiki sessions, that you can get this reaction. I didn't know that at the time, but I was just overwhelmed by all this energy, I guess. And on my way home, I just felt things shifting in my body, and I thought, you know, this is actually working. This could be it. Like, I found the solution. During that night, I was laying in bed, and I had my son, who was at the time he was 3. And I got a switched sides. Like, I got, you know, down by his feet because it was just too warm. So I was down by his feet with my head, and I just held him like in his feet, and I could just feel this horrible feeling, like, I don't know, just a feeling of despair and sadness, and just really strong. And I thought, oh my God, is this how my son feels? Like, am I picking up on his feelings when I'm touching him? What is going on? And I felt energy moving from me to him. Like, it just went out of me as I was feeling these emotions. And after that, my son started having these, I don't know what you just call them, tantrums. During night times, when he was asleep, he would just get these tantrums where he would just start kicking me in the middle of the night. It was almost like 2 o'clock at 3 a.m. And he was barely awake, but, you know, you couldn't just get him to stop. Like, he would just keep going. And during the days, he would just start, you know, a lot of physical, just hitting me. And when you just try to talk to him, you would just get like this evil look in his eyes, like you couldn't really get to him. And then he would just go back to normal and everything was fine, but he would shift a lot into this state where I just didn't know what was going on. And this went on for a few months, every day, especially after preschool. It was like this. As soon as I got home with him, he would just like lay on the floor crying, and I was just like, oh, this is just a stage, he'll get out of this. But one night I prayed to God. I wasn't very religious at this time, but I had started this healing course, and it was, with God included and angels and stuff like that, like healing with spirit. And so I had noticed, I felt these energies, and I started believing in them, in God. And I prayed to God that he would help me with my son. And the next day when we got home, he hit his head or something, like he was sad, and I just picked him up in my knee, and I just sat with him, holding him and just comforting him. And I felt this energy from his stomach, I think, into my body, into my stomach, like this really hard, same horrible feeling I got when I was lying down by his feet. And this energy just went all the way into my stomach, and all of these emotions in my stomach. And I thought, oh my gosh, if he felt like this, I understand why he had all of these tantrums, And God works in mysterious ways. So the same night I was reading in this healing course that I was taking, and there was some, like you would say, commands in this healing practice, and there was some command that I got over that I could apply, and this energy would it was being released as I said this command, and it kept going for, I don't know, 15-30 minutes, like a really long time. So I thought, okay, I asked God for help, and I got it. And that was something huge that we just released and healed. And I'm so glad that I got help getting it away from my son into me, and then getting the help to clear it from me as well. But I noticed during this period of time that I had other entities, more entities to heal inside of me. And so my spiritual journey continued. There was this one event. I'm not going to go into what happened because I don't know, I just don't think it's relevant right now. But this event led to really dark energies where I thought it was like this dark cloud just got over me and into me, and it felt like I was gonna die. My heart started racing, and I could just feel the life force being sucked out of me. That's the best way I can describe it. And I felt this, like, it was pulling me down, like into the floor. And of course I panicked. I got out of bed. I had just put my son to sleep. And I thought, I have 10 seconds and then I'm gonna die. I called my sister, freaked her out. This went on for like 2 rough hours. probably the longest hours of my life, where I did a lot of praying. Saying goodbye to my sister. Asking her to take care of my son, because I'm a single mother. But things quiet down. Eventually, I got off the phone, into bed again. Didn't sleep 1 minute that night, and got off to work the next day. I think I just didn't take a sick day because I just wanted to get out of the house. The whole house was like haunted to me at that time. The next night, these dark energies kind of came back as soon as I fell asleep, and started arranging like what felt like the divine, because they arranged like this out of the things in my surroundings. Like I had a toilet paper roll, so that was white, so that was placed around me. Like everything that was white was placed around me, and it felt like this sacred area. It was meant to feel like that. And I just remember feeling very rushed to say yes. Like, you have to say yes, this is, you know, you have to agree to this, because otherwise blah 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 blah. I don't remember what was being said. And I just remember my subconscious, I guess, saying yes to something, agreeing to something. And I just woke up with this no feeling. Because subconsciously, or, you know, on some level, I knew that I had agreed to something that I didn't want to agree to. And I don't remember what. But those days, those 3 days that went on, I just got this feeling that on Friday I'm gonna die. Something's gonna happen on Friday. Like, I agreed to something, like, you know, the devil's gonna take my soul in 3 days, something like that. And on the 3rd day, we were gonna go and get the mail, me and my son, and I felt something landing on my shoulder, my right side shoulder, and just kind of like claws getting into my shoulder. And, you know, it was just really uncomfortable, but I didn't know how to get it off. We went inside, and I was gonna prepare dinner. I can't even tell you how scared I was at this time. This was the day I was gonna die, you know. And when I was standing by the stove, I just saw this shadow from the left moving fast to my right. And I just knew I had to get out of the house. Like, this was just too scary. So I called my sister, and we were gonna go there right after dinner. So we went. And on my way, I could just feel like I'm gonna die right now. Like, I'm gonna crash the car while dying with my son in it. I didn't. Obviously, we got to my sister's, and I got to bed with my son. And after a while, I could just sense something was, like, I think I fell asleep, and something came into the door. And I woke up, and I just got really scared and panicked, and went to my sister. So she kind of held me. And as she did, I felt something just leaving my body, like my soul leaving my body, like these particles leaving my body. I should also say that during these 3 days, after this big event, spirits, like really dark spirits, were just entering me. Like, it was like I had no protection, no boundaries up whatsoever. Like, my aura was just, I don't know, I had no protection whatsoever. So that was, another stress I was dealing with at that time. Eventually I fell asleep that night too, and the very next day, I don't know, I've never felt that empty before. I can't even describe that feeling. And I felt really affected in my heart chakra. Just like this hole in my heart chakra. There were other events after this as well. And I'm talking both entities and extraterrestrials. These are very different energies, and I just learned that they can actually cooperate to basically take over a person. They have their own agenda, which is not really a positive one for humanity. And during this time, I still, I was in this healing course, and I was trying everything to stay protected, to keep my boundaries up, to just survive without having these energies coming in. Whatever I did, it just got worse. I was constantly cold, like just really, really cold, especially my upper body, on my back. I would feel stabbings, like energetically being stabbed in my back. One night, I can't remember in what order, when, didn't take notes at the time, but I think I was in this state as well, tricked into saying yes, because I was asleep, and it was like I agreed to something, if I remember correctly. And as I did, I woke up, and I died for like a second or something, as something was being pulled out of me. I could see in my mind, I guess, a green, that's just, it kind of looked like a surfing board, like just this body plate inside of me, a green one and an orange one. It took me 2 years later, like it was pretty recently, that I thought, what if that was my sacral chakra and heart chakra that was removed? That's green and orange. I don't know. These are just guessings. I'm not an expert. These are just experiences that I want to share, because I want to share the importance of being protected spiritually by God. I haven't shared this. Basically, I've been quiet for 2.5 years. Like, I shared this at the moment where it was hardest for me with my family, my closest family. And they didn't say, but they probably thought I was crazy. And at one point, I thought so too. This was just so much to process. Like, I think I died and came back 3 times during a very short period of time, constantly being attacked by these really dark energies. And something inside of me felt like kind of surgical. And I thought that this was God, because I was trying to say these commands and get help from God. And I did feel angelic energies, like, you know, this really soothing energy, relaxing energy, healing energy. But as time moved on, at one point I felt something in my stomach, like kind of being cut out. And as it was being cut out, eventually it just kind of dropped, like something dropped inside of me. I have no idea what they cut out, but this felt very extraterrestrial. And as this dropped, I died and came back again. So it's very obvious that you will have God's protection from dying. They will step in and keep you safe from dying. But in order to get more help than that, you need to ask for it, because we have our free will, and God cannot just go in and do whatever without you giving permission to it. This was something I didn't know. This is something I want to help you know beforehand. So at one point when I was saying some command and I thought, yes, this is it, I had this positive reaction. I can't remember what, but I remember thinking, yes, I did it. And then these energies would come in, extraterrestrial energies, and they would put like this energetic blindfold over me. And you know, you can't do anything with energetic blindfolds. I was sitting like this and nothing happened. You know, you can't pull anything off. And then I felt something going down my throat, like down to my, I think, lungs. I don't know what that was. And I was just like, you know, I just gave up. I just felt so beaten. This is so hard. I just felt so violated. The next morning when I woke up, I had been terrorized all night. I could just wake up from, like, if I would lie like this, I could wake up by my hand going like, you know, just energies just trying to scare me, trying to harm me, just basically scare me all the time and keeping me from sleeping. And I was exhausted, trying to protect me, trying to protect my son, waking up all the time, and my, you know, it was everything. And the next morning when I woke up, I got on the side of my bed, and something else happened, like something was placed inside my, downside my back, and I was just like, whatever. I didn't have the energy to fight it off, and I thought, the more I try, the worse it gets. Like, I can't do this anymore. Whatever. And I just gave up. And I had that, you know, that mentality for a week, 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden, from nowhere, because I'd spent like pretty much all my money, all my savings went into this healing course. It was like $5,000, which was a lot for me. And I paid for extra healing from these practitioners in this course, because nothing was free. And just, you know, all the way around with extra vitamins and nutritions and stuff like that. I was trying everything to heal. So I had given up. And I thought, you know, I don't have any more money to pay anyone with. I'm broken down completely in every level, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, everything. And then from out of the blue, and this was like an earth angel sent to me from God. This woman called Rosemary showed up through this healing course that I was taking. She had seen one of my like kind of cry outs for help, where I asked, you know, what do I do? I was really desperate, and this is not, you have to push me really far to get me to that state to ask for help. That's really hard for me. So to ask for help in that way, in that site, was really hard for me, and I did it twice, I think, and I got kind of cold responses, like I was just being a pain in the ass for not being so positive and, you know, loving, because it's just love and light in this site or something like that. I'm exaggerating, but I just got that feeling, you know, and so I gave up. I don't want to be anyone's burden, and I stopped asking for help. So I just gave up. And Rosemary then contacted me through a direct message because I had sent that cry out for help, and she was offering her services, and I said, I don't have any money to pay you. And she said, I'm gonna do it for free. This is like a trial for me. It wasn't through that course, it was through another healing site that she was on. And so in order for her to complete her course, she needed 2 people, I think, which was perfect for me. I could be a guinea pig. I was I was up for anything at that point. I was desperate, and that's when things really started turning around for me. She did these healing for me by distance. She's in America and I'm in Sweden, and she also said, she gave me like protection prayers to say every night before bed and every morning when I woke up. And she even had one for kids where she told me, tell this to your son so he can say this every night. And this might sound weird for you guys, that a child should be asking for protection from God, but it's the same way. You know, they also have free will, and God can't interfere unless we ask him to. So think of it as the best insurance you could possibly get. Whenever you're doing meditation or a healing session or whatever, you want to be protected because you don't know what kind of energies works around this. I believe Reiki can be really awesome. I felt a lot of good healing come from that too, but also a lot of bad. So I'm gonna keep posting because I feel like during these past 3 years I've learned a lot. I have a lot of experience. I can't really say why or what the agenda is or anything, but I've seen, I've felt, I've heard a lot of things that I think can help people from not having the same horrible experience, and maybe something good can come out of this. A lot of good has come out of this. I haven't healed completely yet. I still feel a lot of things, and I haven't told you everything that has, you know, happened due to that bad experience, but I guess I will. And this video, I just wanted to rip off the band-aid. Like the worst, what I've kept pretty much quiet for the past 2.5 years, because I don't know, I just felt like everybody's gonna think I'm crazy. But about 2 months ago, I felt this inner nudge to share this. I thought previously about writing a book about it, but this nudge was posting it on YouTube. And I thought, no, you're crazy, you're not gonna post this on YouTube. And the nudges kept coming, and eventually I asked my angels for a sign, and I got it. So this is it. I'm gonna link down below to the page, the website, where I got these protection prayers that you can use for yourself. And I'm also gonna write what children can say, the easy one, the short version, really short version, and how you can have like a safe word, so that you can say this prayer with just one safe word. Let's say you walk into a store and you want to feel protection because you're in a new environment, you're not at home, you haven't really cleansed that store or whatever you're going into, or you're going to do a meditation or some energy session with someone else or whatever you want to feel extra protected from. You can use this safe word. Just say it before you go into the store and you'll be protected. I'm going to share with you in the next video, I think, a lot of positive experiences I've had from starting these prayers, like just magical experiences. So the one thing I'm truly glad for after having this nightmare experience is it brought me to God. I've always believed in something, but I know God exists now. I've seen it, I've felt it, I've heard it. You know, I have every proof I need to that statement. So I've thought a lot about how impressed I am with people just believing without any evidence, because I really have evidence. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. I hope this helps you in any way possible, and I would love to hear from you. If you do this protection prayer, what are your thoughts, experiences? Like, how did it work out for you? Okay, take care. See you in the next one.